The history of computers is divided into generations, each marked by major technological breakthroughs, from vacuum tubes to transistors to integrated circuits, microprocessors, and now, advanced AI and cloud computing, shaping our future.
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is Obidullah and last 4 digit of my ID is 1379 and here is my others team member. Today's presentation, my topic is the first generation of computer. The first generation of computers developed between 1940 and 1956 marked the beginning of electronic computing. Those machines used vacuum tubes as the main processing technology, which acts as switches and amplifiers for data processing. For memory storage, they relied on magnetic drums, which could hold limited amount of data compared to modern standard. Input and output operation were handled using punch card and paper tape, which required physical handling and made the process slower. Notable examples from this era include ENIAC and UNIVAC, which were groundbreaking at the time. However, those computers were extremely larger in size, occupying entire rooms. They consumed vast amount of electricity and produced excessive heat, which led to frequent management and cooling challenges. Despite those limitations, the first generation laid the foundation for the rapid evaluation of computer technology in later decades. Thank you. Now I would like to request my next team member, Raghib Ishaq, to present his part.
Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Raghib Ishaq. The last 4 digit of my ID is 1364. Today we are going to talk about the first generation of computers, advantages, disadvantages and application. So let's move on to the advantages part. There are some few advantages, like it introduced the concept of electronic computing using vacuum tubes. Then we have the much faster than mechanical and electromechanical computer. Third, could solve complex calculation within seconds, and the fourth, used for scientific, military and industrial purpose. Then we move on to the disadvantages, where it is very large in size that occupies in entire room, consume a huge amount of electricity, generate a lot of heat, leading to frequent failures, expensive to build and maintain, required specialized air conditioning system. Application used in scientific calculation and research, weather forecasting, military applications such as code breaking and ballistic calculation, and the business data processing for large companies and government agencies. Example: ENIAC, UNIVAC, IBM 701. Thank you, everyone.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Emily Shumunali. Last 4 digit of my ID is 1365. The second generation of computers were developed between 1956 and 1963. Those computers replaced vacuum tube with transistors, which made them smaller, faster, more reliable and more energy efficient. Transistors were also a major breakthrough because they produced less heat, used less power, and rarely failed compared to vacuum tubes. Computers of this generation used magnetic core memory for storing data and magnetic tape or disk for secondary storage. The programming language also advanced. Instead of only using machine and assembly language, the high-level languages like COBOL, Fortran were introduced, making programming easier and faster. They were mainly used in business, universities and government organizations for scientific calculations, data processing and engineering tasks.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Qadir Rauf Ahmed and my ID last 4 digit is 1613.
1401, IBM 7094 and CDC 1604. These systems were much faster. They could perform thousands of instructions per second compared to first generation machines. Advantages include smaller size, faster processing speed, less heat generation, greater reliability, and support for high-level programming languages. They also had lower operating costs than the previous generation. However, there are limitations. These machines are still very large compared to modern computers, required air conditioning, and are expensive to purchase and maintain. In short, the second generation marked a major step toward the computers we know today, bridging the gap between bulky, unreliable machines and the more compact, efficient system of the future.
Hello everyone, I am Mitu Roy. My ID last 4-digit initial 1152. Today we are going to present about the third generation of computers, which existed from 1964 to 1971. This generation marked a revolutionary step in computer technology. The main features: the third generation computers used integrated circuit instead of transistors. This single innovation made computers smaller in size, faster in processing speed, and more reliable. They also consumed less that compared to earlier generations. Another major development was the introduction of high-level programming language in COBOL and Fortran, making programming much easier. These computers also supported time sharing and multi-programming, allowing multiple users to work on the same system at the same time. In short, the third generation brought together speed, efficiency, and convenience, making it turning point in computer history. Now, my friend will tell you about the examples, advantages, and disadvantages of this generation.
Assalamualaikum everyone, this is me MD Riyad Hassan. My last ID digit 1644. Now I can talk about third generation computer advantage. The main advantages were similar size, faster speed, more storage capacity, and better performance. They were more reliable and product less hard. Disadvantage: they were still expensive compared to later generation, and to their maintenance require specialized technique. Conclusion: the third generation computer were a major leap forward in technology. They laid the foundation for the powerful, compact, and user-friendly computer. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nuri Tariq Jiyad Sanjit. Today I will presenting on fourth generation computers, and this is for computer architecture and organization course. My ID last 4 digits is 1725. Introduction. The fourth generation of computers spans from 1971 to the 1980s. This was a period when computers underwent a dramatic transformation, thanks to the invention of the microprocessor. Before this era, computers had evolved from the first generation, which used vacuum tubes, to the second generation, powered by transistors, and then the third generation, which used integrated circuits. But the fourth generation took things to the next level, making computers smaller, faster, cheaper, and more accessible to everyone. Let's look at the key characteristics of Generation 4th. Microprocessors were included, built using very large-scale integration or VLSI technology, which allowed thousands of transistors on a single chip. Computers became smaller, faster, and cheaper than ever before. They consumed less power compared to previous generation. They were more reliable, meaning fewer breakdowns and longer lifespan. The development of user-friendly software and operating system like MS-DOS made computers easier for non-experts to use. Technologies used. The technologies used in the generation were groundbreaking. At the heart of it all was VLSI, which made microprocessors possible. Some famous examples include the Intel 404, the first commercial microprocessor, and the Intel 8086, which became the basis for many personal computers. This era also marked the introduction of personal computers or PCs, bring computing power into homes, office, and schools.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, I am MD Shaun Hussain Onik and my ID last 4 digit is 1351. Today I am here to talk about the 4th generation of computers. Especially thanks to my teammate Nuretarik Sanjit for explaining the introduction. Now I will talk about the key technologies, advantage and disadvantage of 4th generation computer. The key technologies of 4th generation computer are microprocessor Intel 4004, 8080 and 8086. Also large scale integration LSI and VLSI, that means very large scale integration. Also magnetic storage device and floppy disks. The main technology of this generation was the microprocessor. Then 4th generation computer have some special character like smaller and portable, high speed and efficiency, low cost and higher reliability. Also 4th generation computer were much smaller than huge machine of earlier generation. Some could fit on disk. They were also much faster in processing data and far more affordable. Let's introduce some example of 4th generation computer like IBM PC, then Apple 2nd generation, then Intel 8086 processor. Some popular example of 4th generation computers include the Apple 2nd generation launched in 1977, which became one of the first widely successful home computers. Now let's talk about the advantage and disadvantage of 4th generation computers. Advantages are highly processing speed and affordable individual and small business, compact and portable and easy to maintain. The biggest advantage of 4th generation computers was their speed and affordability. For the first time, ordinary people and small companies could own a computer. They were smaller, lighter and easy to maintain. However, this system did generate heat at high speed, and their multitasking capabilities were still limited compared to what we see today. Then talk about the disadvantage of 4th generation computer. They are generated heat during operating and limited multitasking compared to modern computers. In conclusion, I would like to say that the 4th generation was the era that gave birth to the professional computer revolution. It introduced microprocessor technology that is still the founding of today's desktops, laptops and smartphones. Without this generation, modern computing as we know it would not exist. Thank you everyone.
The evolution of 5th generation computer is usually described in terms of how they developed, what the techniques they introduced, and how well they meet their original goals. Period early 1980s to present, the 5th generation computer system is AI based. Its main aim: build computers capable of artificial intelligence, natural language understanding and advanced problem solving.
Hello, myself Deepjoy Dotto. My last 4-digit ID is 1324. Today I am going to talk about the fascinating world of 5th generation computer. This is the era where computing moves behind traditional programming into the realm of artificial intelligence and advanced problem solving. Built using cutting-edge technologies like parallel processing, semiconductor and natural language understanding. They promise faster speed, smarter decision making and more natural interaction between humans and machine. In this presentation, I will cover the main advantage, their current limitation and some exciting real world application. Now I talk about advantage. Artificial intelligence, they can simulating human thinking, natural language processing, understand and respond to human language. High performance, faster data processing and advanced semiconductor. Then I talk about limitations. High development cost. AI and advanced hardware requirement huge investment. Complex technology, designing and maintaining this system is challenging. Incomplete AI. Current systems are still far from achievement through human level intelligence. The last topic is application. expert system used in medicine, engineering, and problem solving, robotics, industrial robots, autonomous vehicles and drones, machine technologies, Google Translate, AI power, multilingual communication, etc. The conclusion of fifth generation. The fifth generation of computer marks a significant leap towards an intuitive machine. With advancement in artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and parallel processing, this system promises to revolutionize how we work, communicate, and solve problems. While challenges like high cost, ethical concern, and technical limit remain and potential application. Thank you.